Seattle, Washington. It's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. Herbert and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Jalen Hurts and the Arizona Cardinals.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The numbers for Jones last week, 16 carries, 65 yards.
And partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Hurts sets up to throw it. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. That's Darius Leonard, the linebacker who got in and got him to the turf. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
I'm absolutely eager to watch him play in this game because here we are, Week 15. Not a lot of games left down the stretch. But will he get outside of himself trying to make huge plays in order to try and win an MVP? Because he's not in the #1 spot right now.
No, he's not. I think everyone consensus thinks that way. You hope he doesn't get outside of himself right now, though, because that could really get their offense out of sync. And it's been in sync most of this year. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They give to Taylor out of the gun. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. We'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
23 yards on the play. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd.
Here's Taylor. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Again, the ball carrier.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
That's good.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now it's Carson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You say, thank you very much for getting us to rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Taking it about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 22-yard line.
Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
It certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that number 1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11. At the
2nd down, here's Hurts. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
Jones.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
3rd down.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Arizona.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Seahawks 7, Cardinals nothing.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
3-yard line.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hopkins. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Throwing is Hurts. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Hurts to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33.
Taylor, the ball.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
3rd and 1.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. That's complete to Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, here's Herbert. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Carter. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 36. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Jonathan Taylor.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Again, Herbert. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they're staring at a 4th down as Arizona's defense does its job.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The field goal is good. Makes the score Seahawks 10.
Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job, because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the Arizona offense about set to take over. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
This is the tight end, Njoku.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Hurts. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
21-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Open space inside the 10. On the slant, complete to Hopkins. And down to the 7-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, a full half to be played. Wheaton will return it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Yeah, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where you see the final score there. Kyler Murray leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. A 2-touchdown victory, 31-17, the final. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Alvin Kamara leading the charge on the ground. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Wheaton will return it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Back to the air. Herbert on second down. That's complete to his running back, Taylor. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Flushed out right. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Herbert has it knocked free. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. Past the 20. And they bring this one back. A scoop and score. A fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
And that makes it 14-10. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. Wheaton will return it. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. On 1st and 10, Herbert. And he slings one that's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
To throw again, Herbert. That ball complete to Isabella. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll look to run with Taylor. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Jonathan Taylor with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 17-14.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give them.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Again, it's Taylor. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
3rd down and 4.
The give to Taylor. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Makes the score Seahawks 20. Cardinals 14.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. On 1st down, Hurts firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
At the Seahawks 48-yard line.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Jones.
Ronald Jones, the ball carrier.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10.
7-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Just keeping the play alive. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
And he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10.
At the 10-yard line.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Complete to Ronald Jones. 1st and goal.
They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Dancing to his left, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. A big seam, and he might go all the way. 20, 10.
Hurts on the keeper.
And they had it there so close to the goal line, a chance to take it across, claim the lead here in the 4th. Boy, that was a big, big mistake.
It really was, and as much as...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They'll let Taylor try and run. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in a 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked.
Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they'll be looking looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 more yards there and another first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
At the 40-yard line.
Second down, here's Hurts. Going right back to Jones. This time the connection made. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Third down.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And he fires one that's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Intercepted.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
At their own 33-yard line.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tackle made there by Buda Baker. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Pulled in at the 24. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. He's at the 40. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 51 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
The Cardinals' 20-yard line.
Herbert. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
They'll run here with Taylor. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Hassan Reddick in on the
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
And goal at the 3-yard line.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 2nd and goal now as they look for that final dagger. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run, Taylor. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action, and timeout here defensively. Here we go, a big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here we go, a big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. Trying to punch it in with Taylor, and he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And this Cardinal defense comes up with a goal line stand. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And a very elusive run as he'll wind up getting about 9 on that one. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the 1st down. Got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they had, as well as they understand where they are on the field.
Back to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. 7 yards, the pickup there. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Now this throw caught left side. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it, go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road, want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
Elliott on for the extra point. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the touchdown at PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
The 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a little bit of time here to get in the field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now Herbert. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Hassan Reddick in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. The football going back over to Arizona now. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. They'll go again to Jones. 12 yards there and a first down.
The ball carrier. Tackle made at the
interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing is Hurts. Rolling to his right. Now Hurts fumbles it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I loved one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now Herbert with his first throw in OT. And that will be incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Is good. Makes the score Seahawks 31, Cardinals 28.
We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for the Seahawks, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals,